Some of the Heroes, a patriotic presentation of an American hero, General Montgomery Meigs. West Point, home of the United States Military Academy. Founded in 1775 by General George Washington, it immediately became one of the most strategic positions the Americans could have on the upper Hudson River. In 1825, among the graduating soldiers were two cadets that would become best friends. For the next 40 years, they would climb the promotion ladder until in the late 1850s, they would reach the top as generals. When the Civil War broke out, General Montgomery Meigs, pictured on the right, remained in Washington City as Quartermaster General while his friend took a battlefield command. But it is Meigs that requires our attention. The Civil War was raging, and it was General Meigs' job to make sure the roads were kept open, to train others in the Quartermaster Corps, and most importantly, oversee the supplies. His corps had to know where the Union armies were located and to make sure food, clothing, and weapons were at their disposal. It was during this time that Meigs became a very, very angry man. With Washington City being the target of the Confederate armies, there always seemed to be a battle being fought nearby in Virginia or in the north in Pennsylvania. There was a steady stream of Union dead coming his direction for burial, and his ire increased daily. One day, he decided he would get revenge. Across the Potomac River in now Confederate Virginia, there was a beautiful, beautiful plantation home overlooking Washington City. Meigs had those under his command organize the dead that day and transport their bodies across the river and up the hill. He buried the first of them in the front yard of that southern mansion. The menfolk were away at war, and neither the lady of the house nor her staff could offer resistance. Over the next few weeks, he had encircled the entire home with the graves of Union dead, and he kept it up. One day he was so mad he tore up the beautiful rose garden lining the promenade to the front door and buried more there. One Washington paper thought it, quote, a righteous use of the estate, unquote. By the end of the war, 7,000 were buried on those rolling hills around the home. And what about Meigs's 50-year friendship? Well, you might say that relationship went south. That incredible rose garden and lawn that was destroyed and used to bury Union dead belonged to a woman named Mary, wife of Meigs's lifetime buddy until he switched sides at the beginning of the war. The commander of all the Confederate armies, General Robert E. Lee. When the war was over, a remorseful Meigs spoke to President Abraham Lincoln about what he had done and said, quote, the Romans sowed the fields of their enemies with salt. Let us make it a field of honor, unquote. And with a stroke of a presidential pen, Arlington National Cemetery came into existence. General Montgomery Meigs. And we thank you for watching and listening to this presentation.